Good morning. Welcome back to the farm. Today we're going to plant some onion seeds. We're working down in the milking barn. This is actually a goat stanchion right here. All you need is some potting soil, some onion seeds, and some vermiculite. Stay tuned. What we have here is a standard set of trays. We use the reusable trays, not the ones like you get at Walmart with your geraniums or something in it. These you can actually use year in and year out, and when you're done you put them in the dishwasher and you clean them up. Now when you're first getting ready to prepare your seed bed, in this case trays for putting in your dirt, you need to make sure everything is cleared up, everything looks good. It does. And so what we're going to do is we're going to grab our dirt. Now you can get and use your own dirt, but we prefer to use standardized potting soil just because it's easy and it's cheap and it's available. Now you see I'm just going to pile some on the top here. You can watch, do this. Now we're getting ready to plant onions, and you just kind of spread it around and get it in here, the holes, the best you can. Now there are times where you get big sticks and stuff and you got to kind of take them out. This is a kind of a mossy mix of potting soil, and one thing that we do that makes it a little easier is we dampen this down just a tad before we start using it. Doesn't hurt anything, but it sure makes it a lot easier to work with. Now you can see that a little harder to get the outside, but we got to make sure you get them all, and so that's exactly what we're doing. And but these trays are a little more expensive. We found them online, and but they certainly these particular trays right here are probably 5 years old, and so they can be used. And once you pull your plants out, you get the dirt out. Obviously I put them in the compost pile, and then you clean them out with a hose and put them in the dishwasher and get them ready for the next time. Anyway, as you can see, I'm kind of scooshing this around, just trying to make sure that I get enough dirt in every one of these cells. Yeah, make a little bit of a mess. We certainly don't want to, there's a rock there, certainly don't want to make too big a mess. We don't want Mrs. Possum Ridge Farms getting angry with us. But we're making this go. By the way, we are in the milking barn. We're having some weather here at Possum Ridge Farms. I know that everybody's surprised by that. We have weather all the time. But we're down here. This is actually a goat stanchion I'm building this on. So now what you want to do is you want to kind of push it down the best you can. And you kind of want to do the Karate Kid thing, and you want to wax on, wax off, and get all of the trays relatively level. It's not a rocket scientist kind of thing, but it helps you level out your dirt when you do this. And once again, we're about where we need to be. Now, we get our dirt off the sides. This is one of the key things, and it allows you to have more room for your vermiculite when we get to that part. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pick it up, and we're going to drop it. If you notice, there's any dirt that has now settled down, you can take some of your spillover dirt, you can put back on here, and put on and kind of wax it on, wax off right back to where it was. You kind of get as level as you can, drop it as many times as you want, get a little frustration out if necessary, and your tray's almost ready to plant. We've been doing it this way for 30 years. Seems to work pretty doggone good. Okay, in order to plant your onions, obviously you got to have onion seeds. These are from Haas Tools. We buy the majority of our seeds from them. By the way, we are not subsidized by anybody. This is what's called an imp seeder. And what this does is it allows you to put non-pelletized seeds in your trays at a much more efficient rate. And you're going to need some vermiculite to lay on top. We'll talk about that when we get there. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to lay our imp seeder down and match our holes, these holes right here, with our cells. Now you can buy different sizes of these things, but in essence, I can put seeds in each one of these and move them down, makes it much more efficient. These are candy onion seeds. We grow candies a lot. We get some from Dixondale as well. But these seeds are super, super small, and this is really the only way I've found to be able to get any kind of reasonable amount of seeds in the right place at the right time. So what you do is you take a couple seeds and you put them in the hole, just about like that. I try to use 2, especially with onions. Now, if I was doing tomatoes or something, I wouldn't do that. But as you can see, go over here and put 2 in each one of these. And if you mess up, it's okay, it doesn't hurt anything. Onions especially are easy about when you group them up, they come apart real easy. And so now that I got that side done, now I come over here and I take a few seeds, generally 2, and put them in each one of these holes. Now this imp seeder makes this so much easier. I used to do this by hand, trying to put a seed in every hole, in every tray hole, and wow, that is so hard. But this makes it so much easier. Now when you get to the end of your tray, again, I lose track sometimes, what you do is you move your imp seeder over one hole. And so now I'm ready to do it again. So let's try it again. So now we'll go all the way through doing this. I don't claim to be the fastest at it, but I'll tell you what, I don't waste near the seed I used to have. When we're done here, I will show you the next step, but this certainly makes it so much easier. If you can hear my goats or not, but they're over there trying to come help. Such good helpers around here. You can't have enough helpers between grandchildren, goats, cows, chickens. I'm surprised I don't have chickens running through here right now. And again, we're going to do this until we're done. We're going to go all the way over. So it's not that hard to do. Now, as we get to the end here, you can see I'm at the very end and I'm still putting the seeds in. We need to start thinking about the next step. Now our soil is damp just because it's easier to work it that way when we put it in, but that's not the way we're going to put it in our germination chamber. Our germination chamber, by the way, the settings are at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, at 80% humidity. And at that temperature, they will germinate in probably 4 days or so. Now, you can see I still have seeds in the middle and I got more trays to do. But all I have to do is pick this thing up, and if you look real close, you'll see seeds in my tray. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my bag of vermiculite and I'm going to put this, just sprinkle it over the top. It doesn't have to be perfect, and the reason why you do this is your seeds, the vermiculite will hold the moisture in the tray after we get them good and wet, and you will get, in combination with the germination chamber, almost 100% germination. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've had anything under about 95%. It's absolutely amazing. Just kind of pat it down the best you can. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. And now you're gonna kind of spread it around just a little bit. Again, Mrs. Possum Ridge Farms might get a little aggravated. I got one of her goat stanchions a little dirty, but we'll clean it up. She'll never know. Please don't tell her. And so there we are. Now we're going to put some water in this, and I'll show you exactly how we do this before it goes into the chamber. I really can't stress this next part enough. We've got our vermiculite on, our seeds are in here, we've got good dirt. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lift this part of the tray out, and we're going to put water in here. Watering from the bottom is the key to success. Those that put all this stuff together and water from the top, it serves no purpose. The water has got to be drawn, wicked up from the soil up to the seed, and if you do that, you will have an amazing germination. So I got my trusty watering can here. Straighten this around and put some in here. I'm gonna fill it. I'm gonna give it about half or so, I suppose. See, some of the dirt's done leaked out from the other part. That's okay. When I do this, I'm probably gonna spill some. That's okay too. So it's about half full, give or take. We're a little uneven, but that's okay. And we're gonna set this part in the tray, and we're gonna leave this sit for about 30 minutes. And if necessary, we'll put more water in. That water will be absorbed. This vermiculite, which is a bright white, will turn dark and damp looking. And that's when you know it's ready to go to the germination chamber. Yeah, it's January 2nd and we're getting a pretty significant thunderstorm. That was after the winter apocalypse about a week ago. Until next time, see you down at the barn.